Okay, so I'm out driving in my car, and I just did a video on the Democrat candidates, and I wanted to do a little bit more reflection on some things that came up and some things that I've sensed in the Democrat candidates that we have so far. Now, regarding Mayor Pete, I really feel as though that Mayor Pete has a emotional wound of sorts. I feel like he is a wounded soul, and he is looking to fill that void or that hole within his heart by inflating his self-importance. I think he's looking for ways, if he makes himself be very important, that will fill that ache or that wound that he's got in his heart. Now, that is a really, really bad reason to run for president. Now, I don't think he knows that consciously, but that's what's driving him, and that's what's behind him, is his emotional need. He needs approval. He's very needy, and he wants to look good and to be important and to have that type of recognition from others. Now, I have somebody passing me in a no passing zone. All right. Okay, back. Now, so I just have a really bad feeling about Pete as far as a candidate. He is not a leader, okay? He is someone who is seeking approval, and that is not someone you want leading a country, especially the United States of America. It's just not. So anyway, that's what I get on Pete. Now, people may say, well, Donald Trump, he's got a big ego. Let me tell you something. This is something that people don't understand about Donald Trump. Unlike Mayor Pete, Donald Trump does not need approval from anyone. He's not needy in that way. He doesn't need to have people approve of him. He already approves of himself. He's comfortable in his own skin, and he already knows that he doesn't have a void or a need, okay? Now, yeah, he likes to win, he likes to be competitive, but that's different than being driven by an emotional wound that leaves you a gaping hole in your heart in need of approval, okay? That's the difference between Mayor Pete and Donald Trump. Donald Trump is already approved of himself. He doesn't need anybody else to approve of him for him to feel like he has what he needs, okay? Even if nobody approved of him, he would still feel that sense of self-approval and self-satisfaction, okay? So he's not dependent on other people's opinions of him, okay? And that's good, because right now, he has a lot of people against him, and he's fine with it. He banters back and forth with people. It doesn't bother him, okay? Somebody like Mayor Pete, perhaps, or others that have an emotional wound, that would be very devastating to them. They would take it personally. They would have a hard time reacting in the appropriate way. Not that President Trump is always appropriate, but it's appropriate for him in the way that he deals with things, because it doesn't bother him, okay? It's not coming from a wounded place. I really don't think there's a whole lot that people can do to emotionally wound Donald Trump, okay? He's not fragile. He is not fragile in that way. Mayor Pete, I'm sensing, is a little bit fragile. And you just don't want somebody that fragile running for president. Why is my face looking like... Okay, the lighting is funky in here, okay? All right, so I am at my destination. I'm going to run an errand, and I'll be right back. All right, so I picked up my eggs from the egg farm, and I'm heading back home.